guys, so first off I wanted to apologize for my absence. I know I kind of just disappeared and I didn't mean to, but I started to not feel very well and it just kind of continued to get worse, so I obviously didn't feel like filming a video. So I guess this is gonna be a health update video. It's been 8 weeks now that I've been on the shot, and for those of you who don't know, I'm on a birth control shot that stops your periods by it overwhelms your system with hormones that shuts down your reproductive system and puts you into early menopause. That was my dog coughing, sorry. I will link my other two health videos in the description for those of you who have not been following the whole thing. But yeah, so that's actually why I haven't been feeling good. About 2.5 weeks after starting the shot, I started one of my more awful periods, and for those of you who don't know, again, last year I was actually on this shot for 2 rounds of it, which each round was a 3-month injection. So I was on it for 6 months, and it took about a good 5 to 6 more months after that for it to fully be out of my system, I guess. And even then I still was suffering from the menopause side effects that I developed while I was on the shot. But anyways, last time I was on the shot I did not have any periods whatsoever. So it was kind of concerning when I started a period. They said that within the first 2 to 3 weeks your symptoms, because of the way the shot works, like I said, it overwhelms your system with a bunch of hormones that shuts down your system. But because of that, the first 2 to 3 weeks your symptoms usually get worse before they get better. Sorry, also I realize I'm not looking at the actual camera, I'm looking at the screen so that I make sure that I don't look ridiculous. Anyways, so I was pretty miserable for about a week and a half for that period. It was one of my more painful periods, not one of my worst, but definitely not one of my, I mean all of mine are pretty bad, but it was one of the more painful ones. So that period ended, and I did call my doctor and tell him about it, because even though it was in the 2 to 3 week window, I was still kind of concerned because, like I said, I didn't have periods the last time I was on it. So I called him and they were like, yeah, just monitor your symptoms. If they get worse, let us know. But pretty much just call us if you're dying, basically. Which obviously I didn't. So anyways, I started to feel the menopause symptoms pretty shortly after getting the shot. So not only was I experiencing the menopause symptoms, but then I started that period, and then the menopause symptoms continued, and then after about a week of not being able to sleep very well, I would wake up after like 2 or 3 hours wide awake, not able to go back to sleep, and then I would get super tired later in the day, obviously, from not sleeping enough, and then I would nap, and when I would nap I felt like I couldn't ever get enough sleep, but that was the only way that I was able to sleep is short periods throughout the day, which is very frustrating, especially like around Christmas when you're trying to get Christmas shopping done and spend time with people and, you know, all of that stuff. So that was pretty hard too, because, you know, when you don't get enough rest, your body starts to slow down and you start to not feel good, and it just added to the discomfort. And there were days where I would, because of not sleeping enough, and then I would nap, and then I would miss, because I take my pills on a schedule. I take my hormone replacement pill at night with dinner, and some nights I would fall asleep before I could eat dinner, before I could take my pills, and I would miss that dose. And they told me at the doctor's office to not, like, to just take it at the next dose if I miss one, because it would, like, screw up the whole schedule of it if I were to just take it when I woke up, I guess, or remembered if I had forgotten. But I haven't forgotten, it's just I get so tired from not being able to sleep at night that I will fall asleep on the couch and sleep through the evening, like the night, I guess. Not the whole night, but I would wake up at like 2 or 3 a.m. Without having eaten dinner, and then I would go back to sleep. Basically, I couldn't stay awake long enough to eat and take the pills, and so the next day, because I hadn't taken the pill, I would get extremely nauseous, and I would get a headache and just feel completely awful, in addition to the other menopause symptoms that I experience daily. But anyways, so after about a week of that, I woke up and went to the bathroom and found blood on my pad, because I always wear a pad just in case out of habit. So I called my mom in there and I was like, this isn't right. I shouldn't be starting another period. This would be my second period out of a 3-month shot that's supposed to stop your periods, which is really kind of concerning to me. So I called my doctor's office the next morning, and I had been having like period pains the past the few days before that, but I kind of just ignored them and took Tylenol, and because I didn't expect to be getting another period, so I just figured that they were the random abdominal pains that I get sometimes because of having endometriosis. Like, the endometriosis tissue that's just floating around randomly in my body sometimes will cause me random pain, so I thought that maybe that's just what it was. So I ignored it, and then when I saw the blood, I was like, okay, like, I'm definitely starting a period. So I called my doctor's office at about 8:30 the next morning, because I again woke up after only a few hours of sleeping. So I called him and left a message, because you always have to call and leave a message with the nurses station, and then they call you back like within a few hours usually. So I wanted to call them early in the morning so that I could have some kind of answer by the afternoon, because conveniently I had a counseling appointment later that day, so I wanted to be able to talk about what the doctor said, because that night when my period technically started, I guess, I just started crying, because it really scares me what my doctor is gonna say, because he may think that this wasn't an accurate test for him. Because, like I said in my previous videos, he wanted me to go on the shot, and the only reason I went on the shot was because he wanted me to experience what he said would mimic a hysterectomy, which is shutting down my reproductive system and me taking hormone replacement therapy at the same time. So that's why I went on the shot, even though it was probably the hardest year of my life last year while I was on that. Completely miserable physically and emotionally too, because the hormones, like, people don't realize how much hormones affect your mental health, especially with people who already have depression and anxiety and OCD and, like, the things that I have. So, I was really scared that I am really scared that this is gonna be a setback, that he's gonna want me to go on another 3 months of the shot because when I called them, they told me that it takes 6 to 8 weeks for you to see relief, or 1 to 2 months for it to be fully in your system, which doesn't make much sense to me. If it's a 3-month shot, why would it take 2 months for it to fully go into effect? That's just 2 months of, like, regular periods and menopause symptoms, because not only was I experiencing menopause symptoms, but then I got my periods too. And it's supposed to be one or the other, not both. Like, why would somebody want to go through menopause and periods if the reason they're taking the shot is to find relief? So they told me that it was normal for some people to still experience periods for the first 1 to 2 months. And I told them that the last time I was on the shot, I didn't have periods. And they were like, well, it's different every time you take it. Like, basically just brushing off my worry and saying, whatever, like, call us again, like, call us if you're dying, basically. So that wasn't really a big comfort, especially knowing that, like, with them telling me that it takes a couple of months, I'm afraid that my doctor is gonna say, well, you haven't been on it long enough for it to be an accurate test, so we're gonna do another 3 months of it, just, to make sure that this is the right choice, which I'm prepared to give them hell if they ask me to do that, because I'm really done with everything. I'm done being doctors' guinea pigs. I've tried literally everything there is. And I'm hoping that that helps my case, that I've tried everything. I've done what he asked me to do. I've tried going on a medication that I had already been on twice before, a year before, and it didn't really help me. I mean, immediately after, like, so the last dose that I got, so I got the first dose in April, May, June. Then I got my second dose in June or July. So it was like around October where it started to wear off a little bit. And then by January, I was already having another surgery because my symptoms had come back so badly. So, I mean, it's just coming back and getting worse, and I've tried everything, and I'm just, like I said, done being a guinea pig. I'm done letting doctors tell me what they think is best for me when, like, personally. Obviously, they're doctors, so they have medical insight, but for things like inserting their own opinion into my life, like, well, what if you change your mind one day? What if you want to have kids naturally one day? That's my decision to make. And I will sign I'll have to sign a waiver anyways to have the surgery, that I know it's permanent, that I know it's irreversible. And, like, I could talk about this for so long, but the point is my doctor's appointment is on January 9th, where I will go in and talk to him about the possible surgery plans, and I am very prepared to, like I said, give them hell if they try and say that they won't do it, because I know that this is the right choice for me. It's my choice to make, and it's literally the only cure for what I have. So why would they not want, like, why would they just want to prolong all of it instead of just doing the thing that would cure it? I don't understand that thought process. But anyways, I just wanted to update you guys on how I'm feeling and apologize for being so absent. Again, you can follow me on my social media to stay updated if I'm not able to make videos, but I hope you guys understand. I'm so tired. Physically, emotionally, just, like, I just want to feel okay. And I'm so nervous for this appointment. So if you guys could leave encouraging comments, that would be helpful. Keep me in your thoughts and prayers, because, like I said, I really don't know what he's gonna say. I am already preparing myself with what I'm going to say, because I definitely stand up for myself a lot more in every other aspect of my life, but when it comes to doctors, I've always been very soft-spoken, and, like, they just kind of run me over a lot of the time. But I'm really proud of myself, because this last year I've really improved in that aspect of being able to tell them, no, like, this is my body, I know it better than you do. You may have a medical degree, but I've lived with my body my whole life, and you just met me. I know when there's something that isn't right. I don't know, I'm just, like I said, I'm just done. So I am really hoping that I am able to form a what is the word I'm looking for? Honestly, my brain is so, like, almost fried at this point, because I've not felt good for, like, the past 2 weeks. I'm hoping that I can find the right words to say to convince him that this is what I need. And I just want it to be over. I'm so tired of my hormones going up and down all the time, trying different drugs, trying going to different doctors. I'm tired of being scared. I just want them to take it out and for me to be able to be on a steady dose of hormone replacement therapy so my hormones can even out and I can finally start to feel okay, to have like a baseline to go off of, because currently I am so up and down that my body doesn't even know what normal is anymore. And it really hasn't for like the past couple of years that I've been more seriously dealing with this. Like, obviously I've been dealing with this since I was 13, and I've been asking for a hysterectomy since I was 15 or 16. But really in the last couple of years, it's gotten a lot worse, and it's been a lot harder to deal with. I think just because it's been so long. Like, anybody gets tired after dealing with a chronic condition. I have so many chronic conditions, it's ridiculous. That's another reason why this is so upsetting to me, because this is the one thing that I have that has a cure, and they're denying it for me based off of their preconceived notion of what's important, i.e. having children naturally or whatever. Like, if it's that important, why is it that important to them? It's not their body, it's not their choice. They shouldn't base their decision to do a surgery off of whether or not they think I'm gonna regret it. Because that's my choice to live with. If I regret it, that I have to deal with it, not them. So what's the problem here? Like, anyways, I have so many chronic conditions that I just want this one thing that has a cure. And I feel like I'm so close. Like, I almost feel like they're dangling it in front of me, and I'm just so scared that they're gonna yank it away before I can get to it. Anyways, this video is probably super long and rambly, and I'm sorry for the like negative vibe, and I'm sorry if I seem upset. I am upset because I haven't been feeling good, like I said, and I'm scared and I'm anxious, and I'm just, like I said, I could use some positive comments and encouragement, and thoughts and prayers, like I said. So anyways, thank you for watching, and hopefully I will be coming to you with good news in the next health update. But until then, I will see you in my next video.